say, man, for those select few that are already initiated, you should already know what this is. And for those of you that aren't, just chill. If at any point on this trip you find yourself engulfed in darkness, allow me to be your beacon. And maybe you're not that comfortable with me. Then allow the knowledge of self that I have given you be a beacon within yourself. Oh man, just smile, man. Sometimes you gotta look into the abyss and just smile. See, the thing is, I used to be afraid of the dark. I used to get in trouble every night for cutting lights on in my mama's house. But when I lost my mama, I realized that I was the shadow. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. Yeah, I'm a little crazy. But there's a thin line between genius and insane. And I like to dance. A ray of light to get the fuck about the darkness. Man, what it was, y'all. Y'all tuned in with priceless knowledge of self. And this right here, this ain't nothing but some cosmic insight, man. And I hope everybody doing good. I hope everybody vibing. Because it's time to go through the darkness and then come out the other side. Because this right here, this is a little something about those people that have the black moon Lilith in the 12th house of their natal chart. Yeah. And before we actually go there, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to give y'all a little bit of information about the black moon Lilith. I'm going to tell y'all a little bit about the mythology that comes along with it, about the energy that comes along with it, and how it might affect you. Then after that, I'm going to give y'all a quick breakdown of what the 12th house of the astrological chart is actually all about. And then after that, we're going to bring it to a culmination. So, without wasting any more time, let's get it cracking. So, Lilith. The story of Lilith comes to us, as the oldest story ever told. Because Lilith was the first woman ever created. The Lord or God, whatever they want to call it. They created Adam. He created Adam. She created Adam and Lilith. at the same time, equally, which is important to remember. Not Eve, Lilith. Okay? And Lilith ain't submissive. She's not made of Adam. She's made of God, as is Adam, in God's image. Think about that. And so all was good in the hood, and everything was beautiful until it came time to consummate their relationship, until it came time to get nasty. Because it was at that time that Adam was like, lay down, Lilith, so I may lay on top of you. But, like I said, this ain't Eve, and she ain't submissive. And, she wasn't having that. Something about that didn't sit right with her. She said, no, you lay down, so I may lay on top of you. And we all know that Mr. Adam ain't having that. So they got into it. There became a great calamity. And the angel of the Lord ended up having to come down to sort things out. And in doing so, he immediately sided with Adam. And that made Lilith dejected, feel disrespected. So she dipped out to become many different things in many different mythologies. Some would say that she's a seducer of men to their demise. Some would say that she's she steals babies. Some would say that she's Satan's consort. Some would say that she's the mother of all demons. But I think that's all a bunch of hogwash and rigmarole. What she is strong, independent, wild, sexy, feminine energy. Is it manipulative? Yeah, it has to be. It doesn't have brute force to work with. But it's not second rate, and it's not playing second rate to anything or anybody. Okay? And so for anyone that thinks that femininity is supposed to be the under masculinity, you're wrong. Because there's more than one manifestation of femininity. For anyone that, thinks, women are supposed to be up under men, you're grossly mistaken. Because let's go back to Adam's story. So Adam's back, at the Garden of Eden. He's sick. He's, he needs him somebody. He just needs him somebody. So he's sad. And so what happens is God puts him into a stupor, takes one of his ribs, and creates Eve, who is of Adam, made to serve Adam and be subservient to him. But that's not the first woman. Eve is made of Adam for Adam. That's Eve. It's not women. That's Eve. Don't ever forget that. Okay? So that's the story behind that. And in each person's chart, there's really like this indicator of dark karma. Okay? And that's kind of where Lilith comes into play. And like the nodes or the part of fortune, this is not an actual celestial body. Pardon me. This is not an actual celestial body, but it actually represents a certain point or aberration in the chart. And it really helps us to understand where certain provocations, certain temptations and turn-ons, fears and trials really await a person. And it kind of can represent the darker or shadow side of our personality, as well as the type of energy that could put us in, states of trepidation. And it also manifests differently, in how you look at the energy. If you look at, this type of energy as something that's bad and negative, then it's going to come out as bad and negative things. When you face the shadow and you integrate it, then it can be strong. It's going to play out if you don't accept femininity the right way. If you're not comfortable with the feminine part of yourself, if you think that makes you weak, or if you think anything like that, then this is going to give you some struggles. You have to understand that being masculine has nothing to do with being male. Being feminine has nothing to do with being female. It has to do with being projective and receptive. But y'all don't hear me though. Y'all don't hear me though. Anyway, man. This right here, it represents the darker or shadow side of us like that. And does dark or shadow have to be negative? No. I mean, look on Walking Dead when Rick had to bite that dude's throat out to save him and Carl. That's this type of energy, man. sometimes it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's necessary, man. And let me also say that there's periods when this is going to be strongest, man. And that's in years of multiples of 9. And I'm not talking about 1909, 1918, 1927, 1936, 1945, 1954, 1963. I'm not talking about all that. I'm talking about in years of multiples of 9 since your birth, okay? And, you know, it'll start like 5 months before that and 5 months after that. And that's around that time that, you know, a lot of fateful events might be happening. You might have to, you know, really go through some shit that makes you take a look at yourself in the mirror and face the shadow, you know, or nothing could happen at all because 1, either you've already done it, or 2, you didn't allow it to, because just because you built like that, you don't have to build like that. But y'all don't hear me though. But look, man, a lot of people look at that as like a time of reckoning and shit, you know, a time to really look at yourself in the mirror and, you know, work on those things. But I'm not here for predictions. You know, I'm all about self-awareness and character development. That's what I'm about. So when we talk about the 12th house, man, you know, the 12th house is the murky realm of Pisces, you know, and it's ruled by the planets of Neptune and Jupiter. And what we find here really refers to the unconscious, the hidden, the fantasy, you know, the past life, as well as all things that are beyond this physical plane of existence, you know, that spirit realm. It can also be associated with any periods of confinement or self-undoing that we go through. You know what I'm saying? I also call it the house of karma. And the planets that are going to show up in the 12th, you know, they pretty much indicate functions that are hidden from our conscious personality and are expressed in terms of psychic faculty or self-sacrifice. Okay? So when we're talking about putting the black moon Lilith in the 12th house, you know, this one's a doozy, man. It is for real, because it is one of the most deep, mysterious, and interesting ones that they are, in my opinion. Because on one hand, you know, Lilith is only going to exponentially intensify the intuitive, sensitive, and empathetic energies that come in the 12th house. But on the other hand, she also can manifest in having those same abilities. I mean, having all those abilities, but, you know, being completely detached from them. Not knowing what to do or how to use them, or not even knowing they're there, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's issues right there, man. You know, these people right here are extremely receptive to all the energy around them. And, you know, that's just what it is. However, you know, I can also say that 12th house Lilith people are especially prone to deceptions too. Because, you know, they really struggle with having clearly defined and firm boundaries. So the theme I see play out the most when I think about it is, you know, that tendency to end up helping, you know, keep helping people at their expense. You know what I'm saying? And keep looking like a fool in the process, because people just keep getting over on you. People keep getting over on you, man. Constantly. You know, and even looking deeper into that, man, you know, somewhere deep in these folks' subconscious, you know, which is, you know, this is what the 12th is also about. You know, there's going to be an enhanced sensitivity, you know, as well as, you know, an extra need for solitude. Sometimes an unhealthy need for solitude and introspection. But, you know, it can really go both ways too, to where, you know, they're either super fascinated or enamored with the unconscious, or, you know, they kind of just deny its existence altogether, which is a trip. Man. You know, I've also noticed that these are the type of people who are, you know, kind of deathly afraid of the supernatural, but at the same time, you know, they are way more receptive to it than other people are. And I mean, they're way more, you know, gifted with those type of things to it than other people are too, man. So that's probably why they're so scared of it. It's terrifying. It's been like that since they were little kids. And it also probably contributes to the fact that, you know, unless there are a lot more, you know, reserved placements in their chart, you know, these people right here, they typically don't like to be alone at all, man. They don't like to be alone, especially in the dark. No. So yeah. And on top of that, man, I can also say that a 12th house Lilith can also indicate tendencies to just, either play victim or become victim because they, seem really completely oblivious to obvious red flags and, kind of end up, not noticing telltale clues early on that can prevent them from getting screwed over by folks in the end. It's rough with this one, man. They continuously just, start falling into cycles of manipulation where they continuously over idealize the people that they meet. Plus, Lilith here can also, kind of put a horrible subconscious, tendency to be attracted to motherfuckers that don't have their best intentions at heart. Yeah. And, or really just don't have the energy to actually be there for them in any significant way. So it's not right there. So, what's that mean? That means these people with Lilith in the 12th, they end up in these love affairs and entanglements that ain't for them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't for them. And, and that's really just an unconscious or subconscious way of self-destruction. Like, quit bumping your head into your wall. Stop doing that to yourself and then playing victim when you got done dirty by somebody. That's the thing, man. Like, you put yourself in these entanglements. You go mess with, people that are, might be involved with somebody else. And then when you find out that, they're not going to leave their significant other for you, or, when all the drama comes up for it, like, you want to play victim in the situation when you knew what was up in the first place, Don't do the game like that. Don't do the game like that, man. And, I also know that an unintegrated, Black Moon Lilith in the 12th person can use sex as an escape to, do that type of thing. And that's dangerous. You know damn well that's dangerous this day and age, man. But who am I to judge? If you're doing that safely, more power to you. But on another note, man, I've also noticed that, a large number of these individuals are really prone to having maladaptive dreaming too, man, and a tendency to really just detach from reality when under stress, man. And at their worst, you could definitely gonna have to watch out for substance abuse and addictions and all that self-destructive, bullshit that goes along with this, man, that really don't help nobody or heal anything. And that's the thing, man. And, adding on to that, Black Moon Lilith in the 12th people, they can also really have a real deep interest in, the occult and the the esoteric teachings. And, cause when I think about this, things that are hidden, things that are mysterious, they scare them, but they also attract them too, man. Like, they're really attracted to those things, man, to the point where, when I think about it, people with Lilith here, it can indicate someone who might end up getting involved in cults. I've seen that. And that doesn't, all of them? No. Heck no. But that's something that could be. And, just things like that, man, getting out there in those far out, corners. But like I said, who knows if their belief system isn't the one that's right? Who knows? So I'm not going to impose beliefs on somebody. I just want to make sure that, you're not doing things that are putting yourself in harm's way and being manipulated by a whole bunch of spiritual, BS, man. And, either way, though, these are still people who are going to be keenly interested in psychology, in religion, in spirituality, and, really all the different layers of consciousness. You understand that? And, it can also indicate some really strong psychic abilities, too. But, with this, it could be somebody that has those abilities, but their signal is kind of misconstrued somehow. Or, they're using those abilities to manipulate and do nefarious things. There's all that stuff going on. But, no matter how that goes, these aren't mean-spirited people. I can say that. So don't think about it like that, which may actually be to their detriment, to be honest. You know, seeing that they're just so damn compassionate and they're so nurturing and so supportive and so sensitive and so receptive to all the suffering of other people that they end up getting played, you know. It's hard to stay sucker free in the land of lollipops, man. For real, man. And another way that I've seen this play out is, you know, is with individuals, you know, having, regardless of their gender, you know, kind of repressing their feminine side, which ain't healthy at all. It ain't healthy at all, man. You know, they're so afraid of just trusting their intuition and being vulnerable and allowing themselves to be receptive and actually feel, you know, that it's harming themselves psychologically. You know, they're so afraid of being helpless that, you know, they kind of alternate between being manipulative and then being domineering in order to to get these feeble attempts to, you know, gain control of the situation, man, and, or just to maintain their power, which, come on, man. And, you know, this placement can also indicate, you know, some issues surrounding anxiety. So that's something that you should definitely look at with this, man. And lastly, be warned that, if you got this placement, you know, and you got some secret love affair shit going on, you know what I'm saying? Some secret lover shit going on, you know, that could really, really be risky, especially risky for you. Cause, Lilith here will expose that shit. But even if it don't play out like that, man, just cause you built like that, you don't have to build like that. And what that means is it don't matter where Lilith is, it don't matter where your part of fortune is, it doesn't matter where Saturn is, Pluto is. Just because it's there, you don't have to feed into it. We all have all this energy available to us in our charts. What you do it is what you do it. And even beyond that, it's not about what you do, it's about how you do it. And that's some priceless knowledge in itself, okay? And there's been some priceless knowledge of self. I appreciate all the love and support. If y'all are interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, you can either hit me up in the comments below or email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. Hit that like button right now. And if you didn't, you out of line. If you watch this through and you get to where we speaking right now and you ain't hit the dislike button, then you should have hit the like button, man. Anything else will be uncivilized. Hit the bell icon so you can get notified when I drop some new stuff. Y'all keep it real all the way.